News First You reporter Vasanta Ekanayaka from Kuruvita filed this report on an event held in the area where the foundation stone for a new market complex was laid twice.
Chief Minister of the Sabaragama province, Mahipala Herath, laid the foundation stone for the new market complex this morning and subsequently held a meeting with the organising committee. Minister John Sinivaratne, who arrived at the location at 10 in the morning, blamed the organising committee and also expressed his displeasure at being invited at 10 a.m. Subsequently, the foundation stone was laid for the second time. Another market complex was also declared open parallel to this.
Sri Lanka for the first time was ranked in the high human development category of the United Nations Human Development Programme, the Human Development Report 2013. The launch of the Human Development Report was held at the Lakshman Kaduragama Institute for International Relations and Strategic Studies last evening. According to the report, Sri Lanka has made a significant improvement by being ranked number 92 among 187 other countries.
The Human Development Report 2013, which was launched yesterday, places Sri Lanka in the 92nd position with a Human Development Index of 0.715 in 2012. However, in 2011, Sri Lanka was placed at the 97th position with a Human Development Index of 0.619. This is incidentally a significant improvement for the island nation, which is incidentally the highest ranked among the South Asian nations. Sri Lanka is followed by the Maldives, which is placed at 104th position, while it is trailed by India at the 136th position and Bhutan ranked at the 140th position in the HDI. Bangladesh and Pakistan are both ranked at 146. Nepal is ranked at 157th position, while Afghanistan is placed at 175th position in the Human Development Index. Meanwhile, Norway tops the list, followed by Australia. The United States of America is placed at number 3, while the Netherlands and Germany secure the 4th and 5th places respectively. The Human Development Index is the average of measures of 3 indices: life expectancy, education or literacy, and standard of living. At the launch of the report last evening, the following views were expressed.
Sri Lanka's own human development gains, despite the protracted internal conflict, are due to the continued social investments in education and health sector in particular. In fact, the 2013 HDR recognizes the development gains to be made where countries are prioritizing human and social welfare, making significant public investments not only in infrastructure but also in education, healthcare, legal empowerment and social organization, and taking comprehensive efforts to reduce socio-economic disparities between rural-urban populations, between men and women, between different people from different ethnic origin, religious origin, or linguistic groups.
Development of the South as a whole, it is absolutely important to ensure that GDP growth is accompanied by social equity. In other words, that growth must reflect itself in a tangible improvement in the lives of people up and down our countries. It must not assume the character of a mere abstraction consisting of figures which have no impact on the vast mass of humanity.
I'll say that I think the rise of the South is, as the report says, a good thing both for the South in terms of alleviating poverty and helping human development in the South, but also good for the North. Because of the economic downturn in the North, because of the need to grow our economies, the new markets being opened by development to the South provide commercial opportunities and growth opportunities and human development opportunities for the North as well as for the South.
A report submitted to the Magistrates Court today has revealed that close to 96% of the 65,000 litres that were brought to the Colombo port under the guise of thinner was in fact ethanol. According to the report that was submitted by the Sri Lanka Technical Institute under the directive of court, the tax that should be charged amounts to 23,479,650 rupees. It was also revealed in the report that the total value of the consignment was 38,688,094 rupees. The suspect in connection with the incident was remanded until the 17th of this month. According to the director of the Central Investigations Unit of the Customs Department, V. Vatsala, the consignment in question was imported to the country using bogus documentation that referred to a factory in the Paduka area. And up next is Action TV.
Circulars which are issued by ministries or departments are the legitimate process of issuing instructions or advisories for a strong and continuous public service. Violating circulars which are issued in accordance with the law is a punishable offence under the Institutional Code. The violation of circulars by responsible officials who issue the circulars themselves is a prime cause of several problems which arise around the public service. The education service is one of the sectors in which the violation of circulars is not uncommon. At the time that the current Secretary to the Ministry of Education was appointed, the sector had been blighted by several decisions that had been made in violation of existing circulars. Thereby, what the Secretary should have done was to ensure that there was proper supervision to ensure that decisions taken in the education sector did not violate circulars. However, statements made by the Secretary during the early days of his tenure establishes that the Secretary held a very different concept in his mind. The Secretary had said on several occasions that he would take steps to update existing circulars issued by the Ministry of Education. Although the concept of updating is commendable, what the Education Secretary intends to do through this process of updating circulars can only be clarified after he has actually updated them. A letter addressed by the Education Secretary 2 days prior shows that copies of a circular which had been drafted and then withdrawn more than 2 years ago by the then Education Secretary had been circulated across the island. The letter also notes that a certain group had issued false circulars as the second part of Circular number 4 of 2005 issued by the Secretary to the Ministry of Education to certain provincial and zonal education directors. The Secretary says in his letter that these acts are part of a plan to sabotage the education sector. If a certain individual or group intends on sabotaging education, it is a serious issue. The other more serious issue is that the Education Secretary was unable to identify for more than 2 years the rogue circular issued on the 7th of January 2011. In a similar manner, education authorities accepted before the public that such roguish acts had taken place at the adjacent Department of Examinations as well, after the Criminal Investigations Department conducted an investigation and proved the same. It was also proven that this roguish act was carried out with internal support. Doesn't the failure to call in the CID and investigate the issuing of rogue circulars from Isrupaya to determine if similar circumstances as the incident at the Department of Examinations prevailed translate into opening the door for plans to sabotage the education sector? Secretary to the Ministry of Education, this one is over to you.
Chairman of the Securities and Exchange Commission, Dr. Nalaka Godaheva, says that stability has been restored at the stock market. He made this observation at a function held in Colombo yesterday.
The Colombo Stockbrokers Association launched its Principles of Best Practice and website yesterday.
I think all the problems we had at that time, the bad feeling, the bad publicity, the difficulties, accusing each other, mistrust, excuses, they are all now history. We have brought back stability to the market. When we say we, all of us together, everybody who is here. A lot of people misunderstand the role of SEC. Some people think we are the regulator of the stock market. We are not. We are the regulator of the capital market. So our responsibility actually not restricted to the equity market, it goes beyond.
Parliamentarian Arjuna Ranatunga charges that cricketers, administrators and the government have failed to take a decision at a time when a decision had to be made. He expressed this view at an event held in Morontuduwa, Kalutara today.
අද අපිට පේනවා මේ රටට මොන අවමානයක් ආවත්
Today we can see that no matter what insults are thrown at the country, the cricketers, the administrators, and I must also point a finger at the government, they have all failed to take a decision at a time when a decision was needed. We have been made to face a big problem in India today. Today they are passing laws there for the want of two politicians on how our cricketers should play. This cricket tournament is a private tournament. When they have indicated that our cricketers are unsuitable to play there, our cricketers have hastily run off there to play. The second annual big match between Dhammananda College Mohantoduwa and Pothupitiya Mahavidyalaya commenced today under the auspices of MP Arjuna Ranatunga.
Time now to take a quick look at the newspaper cartoon of the day.